Hi, can you hear me? I can't hear me. Well, hello, this is Michelle Corbin. I am at North Garland High School, and welcome to my webinar for Seesaw. And I had a few little technical difficulties. This is my first webinar, so bear with me if you would please. Okay, so let me go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and just jump into it. If you have any questions, I have Marcy, hope I don't mess up her name, as our moderator. Say hi, Marcy. All right, and so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. We are going to be, again, I'm gonna show you Seesaw. It's an app that I use and that have been using for formative assessment, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm trying to get my kids more into it, but it's a really great tool that I think would be really helpful, especially for ESL, English language learner students, and trying to hit the 4 domains that we need to cover with them. So let me share my screen with you and we will get started. All right, so this is the Seesaw app, and you know, when I first heard Seesaw, I thought about this. Remember the days? Remember the days when we used to play on the seesaw and you'd be stuck up in the air, or somebody would drop you all the way to the bottom and you'd hit the ground? Well, fortunately, that's not the seesaw we're talking about. It's not the same anymore. We are talking about Seesaw, the app. And so what is Seesaw? Seesaw it's an app that's a digital portfolio for students. This is a way for them to be able to creatively demonstrate their knowledge and skills. It also lets you communicate with parents, and parents communicate with you just directly. And it's nice because they don't have to, go through a whole bunch of trouble trying to reach you. They can just send you a message and vice versa once they are connected with the Seesaw app. So I have a short video where I just give you an example of me logging into Seesaw as a parent. I created a demo classroom or class so that I can see it from both perspectives, as the teacher and as the parent. So this is a short video that will show you what it looks like when I'm signing in. And hopefully it will show. Oh, great. So I'm signing in as the family member, in my case, the mom, and you will see my student, who is actually my son. He gets to be my guinea pig in doing a lot of the things that I learn. This video that you're seeing is actually on my iPad. And so you see we're asked to send you notifications. And so I'm going to allow it to send me notifications so that whenever something is posted from my child, then I will be notified. You also get the notifications as a teacher. So when you first log in, this is what it's telling you it can do. Communicate with the teacher, back and forth. All right, and now we're into the student's journal. So you see a picture of me as the parent and as the teacher. All right, and this is where you can I can send announcements as the teacher, and the parents can reply back. All right, and so I'm just scrolling through, and you can see the student journal. All right. So if I give a student an assignment and I make it so that the parents can see it, this is their perspective. This is what they will see. They'll be able to see what their kids are supposed to be doing and how they may or may not have responded. You can click on the calendar view and it tells you the dates that items were posted. You see my little man there? That's Elijah. He's 9. All right, so this is where it stops. And we're going to go ahead and go to the next slide. All right, and this is actually another little video because I wanted to give you a demonstration of what it looks like from both ends. Now, this perspective is from the teacher perspective. This is also recorded on my iPad. And if you look in the top left-hand corner, you can see where it says Michelle Corbin, 7 classes. So it's actually 6 classes, and then my little demo class that I created. So I'm going to go ahead and play this for you. Hopefully this one will play all the way through as well. I think it's playing. Oh, it is. I have that button where it takes, I can take screenshots if I just tap that little button on my iPad. All right, so here if you click the plus, you get to share activities, post to the student journal, or send a class announcement. So if I hit announcement, it says send to. I can send it to just the students, I can send it to just the families, or both the students and the families. Like after I sent the message. And I'm clicking over here on the right-hand side where it says journal, activities, inbox, skills, and blog. And I'm clicking on the different messages, student announcements, family announcements, and then, which is me. All right. So if I click post to the student journal, those are the options that come up. And I chose to add a file. This is what my iPad folder files looks like now. Of course, that's with the new update for iPads. I think it's the iOS 11. And so I'm scrolling through looking for I want to upload. And if you look over to the left, you can see that this is coming from my Google Drive. You can choose from iCloud, OneDrive, other documents, just different things, depends on what you have on your iPad. Eventually, I'm going to choose something. There we go. So I went to my Notes app. In my Notes app, I created Cornell Notes like a year or so ago. I can send this document to the students, then be able to take it and mark on it if I were telling them, take notes on this. And within the app, they can mark on the document that I send them, especially since it's a PDF. And that makes a slight difference because then they're not changing the document. So this other one is another document that I uploaded, same thing. I can put a worksheet in there, or if I download something, I can download it. That little bar that just went across, when I set up an assignment, I can give them voice instructions along with written instructions. Same thing, if I press that play, it will play whatever it is I want them to do. I will speak the instructions. Oh, you can't see it down here. My little thing's covering it. So I was trying to add a link, but I didn't have the link connected yet. So that meant I needed to go find the website and copy the website or the link, to Seesaw, put the link in, and as you see, it's processing. All right, so this is the sign-in page, and this is what it looks like when the students sign in. So if I'm going to send them a link, that's exactly what I would do. I would select who I wanted to send it to and hit the check mark. And you can see the link at the bottom of that little picture or that document. You see my notifications keep popping up every time I send myself something, or every time a parent comments, or whenever one of the students comment or share something, it will send me a notification. All right, so this is a screenshot of one of the simple assignments that I gave my students. And it says, create a list of synonyms for the word love. We've been studying Romeo and Juliet, and so I asked them to create a list. And what I did was I hit the plus, sent it to the student journal, and did the note. And you see it has the that they can write or actually type in. On this one, I don't think they have the option to write their answers, which would have been really cool, but they can type it and they can also speak it. So this was her answer. She just gave me a list of 4 of different, and I didn't make them do, complete sentences on this. And at the bottom, you can see here where I can like it, I can make a comment, I can put more text in it from there. And I think, I'm sorry, got ahead of myself. Let's go to where we were. There we go. So over here on the side to the right, I've cut off their names intentionally, but you can see the initials of all the students that are in that class and the beginning of their journal. You can click on the individual students, what it is they have submitted. So one of the other things, and I believe this was something that they recently added, was where you can create activities for your students. There are activities that are out there that other teachers have already created, and you can go access those based on grade. And I will show you that screen. Again, there we go. And this is what it looks like. So if you go to the activity library, you click on add activity, this is what it looks like. I chose 9th grade because my students are grades 9 through 12. And you would just choose what you want to use. So I like this one at the top. Share your thinking, record a reflection on what you just learned. Then it even gives them the instructions on how to do it. Okay, and they can play the instructions where they listen to it. And as you see, it's only 18 seconds. Great tool also to use with Seesaw. So how is this used for English language learners? If you noticed, a lot of what I did, it involves covering either listening, speaking, writing, and those are the 4 domains. So when we are working with English language learning students, those are the things we want to hit on. We want to make sure that when they're learning to speak, they learn to speak with fluency. So when they are reading, they read, and after a while, they get better. They get more and more fluent with their reading. Listening, choral reading, I can have them follow my reading. I can read something in Seesaw and let them mock me where I read, then they read. Or I could just put myself reading aloud so that they understand how it's supposed to sound. One of the other things they can do is they can practice reading themselves. One of the other things I was trying to upload, but I couldn't get it to work right in this particular document, was one of my students. I gave them an assignment where I posted a document and I cut part of the document off and said, read this part, record yourselves reading it. It's a safe way for them to be able to read and practice their reading without showing their face, but it lets me check to see how fluent they are and if they're improving on their reading. And so they have a good time with it. I love that this allows for so much creativity. And then also with the writing, they can practice identifying and correcting grammar. That is one of the things that I do for my bell ringer. And it's a little sheet. I take pictures of it or I download it and they go through and they make the corrections within Seesaw. Once they have finished, they submit their response and then we go over it together to make, to check it to make sure that they have, made all the different corrections that needed to be. And they like to have a little competition with it to see who can find the most mistakes and fix them. This can also be used, and this is like the notebook section, the note part, where they can write a summary. So after they've finished their reading, they can write a summary or a narrative or expository paragraph. So that the different things that they can do with this that hit on these 4 domains for English language learners is, quite of things that they can do. So at this point, I am going to go ahead and open the floor for any questions. Okay. And what I would say, try it out. The nice thing about Seesaw, before I forget to say this, is whenever the students submit something, whether it's an assignment, whether it is a picture, no matter what it is, it all comes through to the teacher and you have to approve it. And I'm going to go back a couple of pages just because I want you to see, and I'm going to see if I can point it out to you. Over here on the right-hand side, there is this wrench. That is where the settings for the different classes are. And you would go in there, you can decide whether students can see each other's work or whether they aren't. You can determine what you want the parents to be able to see. So everything goes through you as the teacher to approve. Also, my leadership class, we have a blog we've created because we are doing a lot of community service. And the same thing, I can make the blog where the blog has a password. So not everybody in the whole world can see it, but only the people that I give that password. And whenever the students submit something, it automatically comes to me and will ask me for approval. So nothing inappropriate will be put out there in the World Wide Web. All right, so let's start using Seesaw. Go ahead, try it in your class. You will find if you research it that a lot of times you see it used in elementary settings, but this is not limited to elementary school. It is very useful in high school, as you can see, as well as for English language learners. All right. At this point, if you have any questions, go ahead and let me know. All right, so we have about 8 more minutes left. If you have any questions, by all means, go ahead and ask me. I will say that I am thoroughly enjoying using this app and trying to get the kids to use it. When you set them up, one of the things that you do as well is you print out a QR code that they can have their parents log in. And that's one of the things I almost forgot to tell you is that this can be used on a telephone, an iPad, iOS, and Android. It doesn't matter. This app goes across all of the different platforms, which is great. So the parents can, if they don't have it on their phone, they can check and see what their students are doing. All right. Let's see. Okay. If there's anything else you would like to know, by all means, just let me know, and I will see if I know the answer, and if not, let you know. Find it for you. All right. Wonderful. My little man is sitting over here quietly. No. All right. And okay. All right. Well, if there are no questions, I will go ahead and sign off. Thank you so much for watching, and you have a wonderful day.